Right guys, so we have the questions from the public, and the first question they ask is Sammy going to tell Belle exactly what Sophie said about Belle on their call? Now let's just remind ourselves of exactly what Sophie said to Sammy on their call. Have a look.
Your drama is not Belle's drama.
Yeah.
And you need to stay out of that.
Yeah.
Like Lucinda, she has done a lot in there, but at the same time, the past few days, like what she said is right, and what Belle has done is actually worse in comparison to what Lucinda ever done.
Yeah.
And Sammy kind of says it. I mean, she doesn't kind of lie as such, but it's a bit sketchy because I think what Sophie might have been referring to here was the way that Belle was going after Scott with Leanne still in the picture. And a lot of the public did think, certainly on social media from what I read, that what she was doing was just as bad as what Lucinda had done with Sean when Belle was away, flirting with Carrington. And they did flirt, let's not pretend they didn't. So I feel like here it's just another time where, you know, Belle is confronted with information and Belle is not going to say sorry or admit she ever did anything as bad as what Sean did to her, as if it was, you know, the worst thing ever. And then, of course, we have Lucinda coming in at Sammy, and it gets so petty with, you know, Lucinda saying, yeah, well, Sophie's a friend of mine, and Sammy saying, yeah, well, she's like my best friend. It's like being in the playground again. It's quite funny in a way, but I feel like Lucinda feels she was hard done by with that narrative from Belle and Sammy, and, you know, the other camp are sticking by Belle and saying, no, she did nothing wrong. So you're kind of stuck, aren't you? But here is what Sammy said, here is the reaction, and you can make up your own mind because I'm getting very confused in the mire of this argument. Not Maya Jama, just the mire, M-I-R-E, of this argument, in case you needed it spelt for you, which you don't.
Well, the truth about what Sophie said about Belle on the video call.
What did Sophie say on the video call?
Oh, Lord God. Bearing in mind, at the time, you're my good friend and you were in tears, and I didn't want to give you any more news, so we just, whatever. But basically, Sophie said to me, what Belle is doing to Lucinda is worse. That what Lucinda done at the beginning and Belle's drama is not your drama. In my head, you didn't need to know that. I'm not going to kick a girl when she's down. I'm not going to do that.
But you made it clear what Sophie said about me.
This is about Belle.
It's about Belle's sins.
You said that Sophie said that she didn't like the way I was and she thought it was bad.
She didn't say that.
Obviously, I actually don't care. But also at the same day, if you're going to start a sentence and you're going to say one side of a point but not finish the comma with the whole other rest of the sentence, then don't bother at all.
You didn't need to hear what she said about Belle because it's got nothing to do with you. At the beginning,
but it sounds like it was the same kind of sentence.
The thing is, listen to me.
Start to finish.
Can you let me speak on my question?
It was a conversation, obviously you say...
Are you going to let me speak, Lucinda, or are you just going to carry on
obviously
talking?
Carry on.
Right, so, I said, Sophie said to me it was a hard watch at the beginning because she was very upset. That's all I needed to
Obviously, her saying that about Belle wouldn't make me feel better, but it's like you're kind of saying one side of a sentence. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no.
Obviously, it's like
I appreciate you not saying that in front of a group of people.
Why would I say that in front of a group of people about my power? I wouldn't do that. I told you what I told you, and I didn't what I didn't, and I've done it for a reason. And Belle, do you get that?
Yeah.
Belle, how do you feel about that?
To say what I'm doing is worse, I got to disagree with Sophie there a little bit.
Back to the Sophie thing. Obviously, I know Sophie's one of your really good friends, but also she's one of my good friends as well.
Sophie's like one of my best friends. That's why she was my friend.
Okay, well, it's not a competition. I know Sophie as well. Do you know what I mean?
We can't do this, mate.
Whatever. We know each other, and like...
So, that's got nothing to do with Belle.
Obviously, it's up for discussion. At the end of the day, like, I feel the way I feel.
There's no point, just leave it there. It's about you and Belle.
Literally. No one else.
I think she thinks it's like some crazy like flex or competition, and it's just like Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Well, we haven't quite cleared that up for the public, but let's move on and you lot can discuss it later if you like.